Welcome back to Dirty 20, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at the Koryo Hall of Adventures as the Kickstarter has finally arrived. And we're also going to take a more in-depth look at the class that the book provides, the Mudang. Let's get on with the show. Okay, so here it is, the Koryo Hall of Adventures, the Kickstarter that I backed 2019 by a good friend of mine and of the show, Aurélien Lenné, who we interviewed. If you want to learn a little bit more about the journey that he took to get this book into the hands of eager RPG players like myself. But I thought we would do another video on the book now that it has finally arrived, and here we go. It feels like a good, solid 5e book is how I would describe it. Just kind of picking it up, and the quality of the print, the colors in it, the just the general quality of the printing is really nice, and right up there with any of the pre-written stuff that Wizards of the Coast have put out. Obviously, as always, the artwork is kind of a big draw for me personally, and I think they've kind of knocked it out of the park, if I'm perfectly honest. Some of these creature drawings, look at that. The Yong, the dragon, are absolutely fabulous. It's a big book. It's 272 pages in total, including the kind of licensed legal stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, it's a hefty book. It's a lot to get through. There's a lot of really in-depth kind of world building here, lore, from mythology and early history to the people, the ancestries, the different provinces of the land. It is super thorough. One thing that I think you will definitely need is the awesome pronunciation guide that Aurélien has kindly provided on his website, where he reads out in Korean some of the words in here, because I lived out there for 12 years, and I'll be honest, there's going to be some stuff in here that I'm going to absolutely butcher. So just please bear that in mind. But really beautiful. I love the map work in particular, I think. It's just really classy. And yeah, top marks for that. Now, I did want to take a look at page 196 in the book, which is the Mudang class, the shamans of Josang. Now, I'm always a little bit trepidatious about new classes, just because I tend to stick to what has been play tested within an inch of its life. But I've got to say that this, as a concept, is really something else. So Mudang are conduits between the material and spiritual realms, negotiating interactions and resolving the conflicts between the two and within. A Mudang's soul is joined with a spirit's, connecting them to one of the 5 spiritual affinities and the ability to channel a spirit's power. As a chosen vessel, the line between a Mudang's agency and destiny is thin. So, really great fluff, and once again, we talked about this when we interviewed Aurélien in a previous 3020 video, but he has been very careful to incorporate elements of Korean mythology and lore and interwoven it. So, there is, I think, a great grounding in reality, but that allows the imagination to run rampant. So, in one sense, I think of this as, I don't know. It's such a great character trope, but the tortured hero who is linked to a spirit. If any of you have seen the Umbrella Academy, there is a character in that which is maybe one of the best characters in the whole show, actually, and he has a little bit of that connection. But I thought I'd look at it beyond the fluff, which is really, really cool, and just take a quick look at what this class gives us. So, it's 1d8 per level hit dice. It is no armor proficiencies, and we'll get into how you might be able to survive that. No tools, weapons, I mean, sickles, daggers, slings, nothing particularly special. So you're immediately starting to think, okay, this is not a kind of down in the mud, fighter class that's really going to deal out a lot of damage in that sense. Charisma is its highest ability. Because that is how they will cast spells. And there are spells. So, let's have a look. Spiritual affinities. Let's read this first. The spirit that is now bonded to you, your Momju, grants you certain boons depending on which Obangsek the spirit belongs to. Choose from one of 5 Obangsek or spiritual affinities. And you've got Tang, Bull, Mul, Gongi, and Mam. And these are later described in a little bit more detail. But I would put these in a kind of, almost like a warlock patron kind of situation. Because you get the affinity to this spiritual realm, and it gives you certain abilities like an evocation. Okay, and this is going to be an at-will spell that you get, and a lot of them are kind of protection. It's not that crazy powerful, but as you go up, you start being able to control spirits and do certain things which are absolutely insane. Fluff-wise, these affinities are related to kind of the elements. So like Gongi is air, and Mul is water. Then you've got Bull, which is fire, and you've got Tang, which is earth. And my personal favorite one, which is Mam. And it's the Bangsek of the mind. So that one's the little bit different one, and that has some really, really cool stuff later on. But essentially you pick one of these, and then you have these this way of casting spells, the Kut casting. As you awaken to the spirit that now resides within you, you gain the ability to cast spells through the conjuration of spirits. So you're basically like calling these spirits forth, and they are casting the spells for you. Again, really cool. Like, I'm thinking almost a little bit like John Constantine in that sense. But that, Ghost, what's the other one? Harry Dresden as well, I think, has that. So within Josung, which is the setting, a spell cast through a spirit is called a cut. You can find the spirits list at the end. And I'll just very quickly take a quick look at these, because it's not a simple class, I will say that much. It's not a class that you could say to a beginner, listen, I think you should try this out, because it's dense, it's more complex than it seems. But again, really, really cool. So you have these, again, these different affinities, right? Bull, Mul, Gongi, Mam, Tang, and within them they have common spirits and uncommon spirits. And a common spirit, for example, Gashin, which is from Tang, has a certain number of spells: alarm, protection from evil and good, sanctuary, and shield. So those are the spells that this spirit can cast, right? And then like a more uncommon, right? Cholyang from the Tang as well. Cut spirits. Learmon's Tiny Heart, protection from energy, death ward. So they're kind of like multi-purpose, these spirits. But let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a more in-depth video on the spirits and spells, because I think that is a really, really interesting element of this setting. So those spirits that you have prepared, right, and you have the table here, you can see at first level you get 2 spirits, by third you're on 3, by 5th you're on 4, and so on and so forth. They will each have like a certain number of spells, right? When you conjure one up, they can cast that spell, right? And that's the maximum level of spell, and that's how many cut slots you get. So it's not a lot, right? It feels a little bit warlocky, in terms of, yes, some really cool magical elements to it, but not an overwhelming amount, which is nice. It makes me feel that it's probably quite well balanced. So, as well as the ability to kind of conjure these other spirits, your Momju gives you a blessing at 2nd level. Starting at 2nd level, when you cast the cut spell at 1st level or higher, you can choose to have your Momju manifest itself to grant you a blessing. These benefits last for 1 minute and occur immediately after the conclusion of your spell. You do not gain the benefit of a blessing if the spell was cast as a ritual. If the spirit affinity matches your own, you do not expend the use of this feature, which is nice. Otherwise, you cannot use this ability again until the end of a long rest. Now, the blessing is essentially something that you get, once a day. And you, for example, if you choose the bull, right? Your AC cannot be less than 16, or you gain a +2 bonus to AC, whichever results in a greater AC. The minimum AC increases by 1 when you reach so on and so forth. So it's a boost to your AC, right? And these guys actually have some pretty cool stuff. Something that I missed earlier, which I meant to talk about, which was the whole AC armor thing. Spirit's protection. While wearing no armor, your AC equals 10 plus your charisma modifier. You can wield a shield and still gain this benefit. So actually your AC could be decent, depending on how much you pump into your charisma. But yes, the blessings are handy things that you can use once you've cast a spell or one of your cuts. It's nice also that you can, at 3rd level, start giving the blessing to other creatures. But as you go up in levels, you start being able to do some really, really crazy things in terms of, casting greater spirits, being able to command the spirits and add them to your kind of entourage or party for an encounter. Very, very, very interesting stuff. And I have to say that the whole concept has me super excited for playing one of these. I'm definitely going to have to read a little bit more into it, because the casting of spells is, like I say, not super simple, but interesting design and something that I think I'm really, really, really going to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching the video today as we took a slightly more in-depth look at the book, the physical book, and also the class, the Mudan class. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. Let us know down in the comments if you want to know more about this campaign setting, including its kind of spell system with its spirits and stuff like that, which we talked about in the Mudan class, and what more would you like to learn from this setting? I'm really excited to get to play some games with it very, very soon. So once again, thank you for watching and keep slaying. If you've enjoyed this content, then please smash that like button, subscribe, share this around online, and come and visit our website, www.lavictoriaproductions.com, to see all our past episodes, as well as our blog posts and all the stuff that we're currently working on at La Victoria Productions. Why not reach out to us and tell us what you think of our videos? You can reach us on Twitter. @MouthLaVictoria is our producer. We are also on Instagram. I am EnanoLVP, and our producer is Jazzy J Cherot. We're also La Victoria Productions on Facebook and LinkedIn. Come on by and let us know what you think.